What's up, Wildcats? I'm Ellen Eldridge, and this is the Wildcat Weekly. Even though it's almost time for fall break, K-Staters have been busy with some fun events. On this week's episode, you'll get a closer look at the K-State launch competition. And for the Harry Potter fans out there, you're in luck because we have a recap of an event that involved witchcraft, wizardry, and some great desserts. How is one of the sororities here on campus helping a local organization? You'll find out. Last but not least, we have an exclusive interview with some of the cast from K-State's musical, A Christmas Carol. Stay tuned. If you've ever seen the show on ABC called Shark Tank, you might also enjoy K-State Launch. The Center for Advancement of Entrepreneurship actually came up with a competition just like Shark Tank years before the show even came out. Check out some of this year's ideas.
The K-State College of Business has brought its own version of the show Shark Tank right here to campus. Entrepreneurs can present a new concept for the opportunity to win money to put towards it. And all you need to start is an idea.
We had over 300 students register to be a part of the competition this year. Students get the opportunity to learn how to research and write a 3-page executive summary on a concept. So the concept can be anything, as you may have seen in the competition. New product ideas, new service-based ideas, websites, apps, all variety of things get presented. Then they submit their executive summary to a panel of judges, and those judges then select the top 16 that got to come in today and pitch their ideas to another panel of judges. So then the judges then got to hear the presentations, ask questions, and ultimately award out $20,000 across the top ideas.
Bungee could be next. Again, Bungee helps 2 groups of people.
Our product is an insect flour that you add to your baked goods.
We created a business called Regreet, and it's where graduating sorority members can send in their old t-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff to our site, and then we will resell them to new members. We were really nervous going into it, but once we got up there, it felt a lot more natural, and just like we were having a conversation, we're both very passionate about what we came up with.
So our idea is essentially a mobile application that connects a user to a pickup truck at the push of a button.
You know Uber, right?
Yes.
Pretty much the Uber for pickup trucks.
It kind of started when Harrison over here asked me if he could borrow my pickup truck. He just bought a couch actually and had no way to get to his place. So he asked if I could borrow a pickup truck, and then that same week I had 4 other people ask me if they could borrow my truck. And I was kind of talking to Harrison about it. We realized that there was a great need for pickup trucks essentially. And that's honestly where Bungee was born.
This was one of the first things that we started, was an idea competition and a way of just going out and helping to support entrepreneurs and giving them cash prizes to help incent them to continue to move on those ideas. So over the last 6 years, we've awarded $120,000, $140,000 as of today, and we've seen 38 new companies launched.
Thanks to the alumni who fund the competition. 6 different groups won prize money to help launch their ideas. The competition was so fierce that the judges couldn't even decide which team was going to represent K-State in the Kansas Entrepreneurship Challenge this year. They invited 3 groups back to compete for the opportunity in the spring. Congratulations to all the winners, and good luck to Bungee, Envirostarch, and Endomorphosis on your spring presentations. Last week, UPC partnered with K-State Libraries and the Harry Potter Alliance for Harry Potter Dessert Theater. It was a night full of games, art, and all things Harry Potter. K-State's improv group, On the Spot, even made an appearance. Check it out.
Well, I'm one of the co-chairs at UPC Arts, and we put all this together over a series of months, actually. We started putting it together last semester. That's how big of a deal this is.
Yeah, I read the books like 4 times. Movies, we're actually watching them again this weekend. So yeah, I'm a pretty big fan. I just grew up on it, so I love Harry Potter.
We worked with Harry Potter Alliance and the Library Ambassadors to get a lot of these activities going. Like the Library Ambassadors are doing a trivia raffle, which is super fun. The Harry Potter Alliance is doing things like Quidditch and rolling a wheel to win time turners, and there's lots of cool things, as well as all the desserts, obviously.
I'm so glad that they did it, especially that there are kids here, because I thought it was just going to be college kids and goofing around, but I love that the younger generations came, just because Harry Potter, you can learn life lessons from it for sure. So.
Well, we like to get the community involved in whatever events we can at UPC. So what we do is we have an e-blast where we set up all of the posters from events we're coming up, and we send it out to all the members of the community that are signed up for it.
I think the on the spot was really awesome. They were hilarious, and I'm glad that they came. Everyone's been laughing in there.
Harry Potter brings out the kid in all of us. We all have that magic that we want in our lives, and Harry Potter really allows us to bring that into it.
If you want more information on the Harry Potter Alliance and upcoming events, you can send an email to hpalliance@ksu.edu. The weather's cooling down, but this week Kappa Kappa Gamma helped warm students up by selling cups of cappuccino in the Union. The money they raised will go to a local mental health organization called Katie's Way.
Today we are doing our annual Cappuccino Philanthropy, so we're selling cups of cappuccino for $1.50. Started doing cappuccino my freshman year, just as kind of a fun thing, and it's become something that we've loved doing. So we've done it the past 2 years, and both times have been at the Union. We're really excited because this year it's a little bit nicer weather. Last year we stood outside and it was like freezing cold. But yeah, so we've done this every year just to promote and support different organizations. So Katie's Way is an organization in Manhattan that helps prevent the development of mental health issues and like promote social emotional development and things like that. Fun time for us all to come together and like have excuses to hang out with each other in between classes and kind of get away from the busy day to do something fun for everyone else.
For more information on how you can help Katie's Way, check out their website, www.katiesway.com. There's no better time to help those in need than the holiday season. Speaking of holidays, K-State's theater recently performed A Christmas Carol in McCain Auditorium. The original story was written by Charles Dickens, but these Wildcats did a great job bringing it to life.
Although Thanksgiving is right around the corner, it's never too early to get in the Christmas spirit. Here at McCain Auditorium, K-State Theater is performing the classic Christmas story, A Christmas Carol.
We were just having like a friend's Thanksgiving. I was like, oh, what's something we can do after? And this happened to be it. I was like, that'd be perfect, so.
I'm here on exchange from Australia, so all the international students like getting out and about and trying new things, so I think a few of them posted it in our Facebook group.
Christmas Carol was like one of my favorite stories.
I think just being out and about, getting into the Christmas spirit.
Well, I'm totally pumped, obviously, since it's one of my favorite seasons, especially like the Thanksgiving time, just like family and everything, family and friends getting together. It's just like the best part, so.
In case you missed it, don't worry because you'll get to hear from a few of the cast members in just a few moments. Signing off for Wildcat Watch, I'm Alicia Salcedo.
I'm here with Sam and Derrickton from A Christmas Carol. What were your guys' roles in A Christmas Carol?
I played Ebenezer Scrooge.
And I played the Ghost of Christmas Past.
What were your guys' favorite memories from being in the production?
Oh my gosh, you start. It's gonna take me a second.
Favorite memory? I think the best part, for me, was Saturday night. We had the biggest crowd that we've ever had for a K-State musical. We set the record for the biggest crowd. And we came out for the bows at the end, and it was a standing ovation. And we went out and we did the bows, and it was just incredible to have over 600 people there that watched the show on that night. So I think that was probably my favorite memory.
Yeah, wow, that's a really good answer. My favorite, I think, okay, yeah, this is it. My favorite memory doing the show actually was a rehearsal that we had that for whatever reason was like particularly tough for me. And it was, it was just really difficult. I was getting a lot of notes and there was a lot of things I needed to fix. And I felt just like very broken after that rehearsal. And I was sort of falling apart, and it was actually this guy who like found me and like put me back together and like got me ice cream and told me that everything was going to be okay. And that is kind of, I think, why we do this anyway, to like get closer with each other. And that is just like a memory of me growing and being stronger that I'll always have. So I think that's one of my favorites.
Do you guys have any specific memories or anything from when you were a kid, either watching or performing in A Christmas Carol?
That's such a good question. I'm from Kansas City, and the KC Rep does a production of The Christmas Carol every year. It's the play version, and the first time that I went to see it, I was like 8 years old, and the Ghost of Christmas Future absolutely terrified me, to the point where I would like get on my mom's lap and like hide under her jacket because I just couldn't take it. And now I think it's hilarious that I was in it my senior year of college.
Yeah, I never really went to watch it much, but I obviously saw a couple of the versions on TV, and I read it with my parents. So that was about the extent of what I had, but I definitely knew the story coming into this.
So tell us kind of the gist of what A Christmas Carol is about.
Absolutely, absolutely. A Christmas Carol is essentially a ghost story. It's the story of a man named Ebenezer Scrooge who has spent essentially his entire life being selfish and greedy and heartless and saving up his money and not helping anyone else. The story takes place in Victorian England, and at that time, Christmas especially was supposed to be this magical, joyous time that was especially all about charity. And so Scrooge was especially like evil in this time because he would never give any of his money to the poor or help out in any way. So A Christmas Carol takes place on Christmas Eve, and that night he is visited by three ghosts, the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. And they sort of show him all of these different visions of Christmas going on around him and in other places, and eventually show him that if he doesn't change his ways, he will die forgotten and alone. And so the story just follows that and eventually shows us Scrooge's transformation to be a kind, charitable man at the end of the show.
For K-State specifically, what made this production unique compared to other ones that you may have seen?
I think this was just a classic. I think this is just a story that sells itself. I think if you just hear that A Christmas Carol is going to be here, I think that you're probably going to come to it anyway, just because you know the story and you want to see it. And we haven't really had one of those in the last few years, at least since I've been here. And so this has definitely been a show that everyone knows about and wants to see.
But another fun fact that makes this particular production very unique is that K-State Theater plans to remount this show every 3 or 4 years so it can kind of become a community tradition to come out and see A Christmas Carol by K-State Theater. So we were the original K-State cast of this show that will hopefully go on. And like we've saved all of the sets and props and costumes so that they can just put it right back up. But we were the first people to make it happen.
We were.
What advice would you guys give to someone who's going to see a K-State Theater play for the first time?
I would just say have an open mind going in for most of these shows. They're very different depending on what you go to see. We don't always stick with the traditional stories that you would know. A Christmas Carol was a little different, but for the most part, we try and push the boundaries of a lot of the shows that we have. We like to try and push the political side, push the social side, the racial side, everything else. We like to really push the boundaries and make people question. So I would say to come into the shows with an open mind and just be really willing to think and learn from what you're watching.
Well, that's some great advice. Thank you, guys. Sam and Darrington from A Christmas Carol. I'm Ellen Eldridge from Wildcat Weekly. Tune in after the break for more.